Okay, so I think the most obvious reason why the crime rate is rising because of teenagers are given much freedom. This is based on the quote, "You only live once." They didn't know how to differentiate between what's needed and what they wanted, and even their parents given too much trust to them, and that leads to their act to act too freely, and they didn't know how to control themselves again. So, Candidate B, do you have any opinions about that?
Uh, uh, it is a good choices, but in my opinion, the crime rates are on the rise because the lack of parental care and supervision. As we know, uh, are one of the main influence in the teenagers' life because they living together. So if the teenagers lack of parental care, because their parents rarely at home and often busy with work, uh, it is lead to a like communication between their children and parents. So the teenagers will lose their place to complain and depend. So it will lead. So the teenagers will feel that parents do not care about them. Candidate C, what's your opinion?
Thank you, Candidate B. I kind of agree with your, you got the point there about the lack of parental care. But for me personally, I kind of agree with Candidate A, which about teenagers are given too much freedom. I think that if they are given a lot of freedom, it might not be a good idea because they are openly to do any crimes because they think that what they did is right. Um, Basically, because their parents don't really keep an eye on them, so they feel like what they did is right. So they don't feel like what they did is a crime. Let's say if they are really have a kind of group that already drinking like alcohol in such a young age, and because of their parents has give them a lot of freedom, so they feel like that's not illegal, so basically they did that. So I think parents cannot give like too much freedom because it can lead, basically the crime rates can lead to rise because of the freedom. So what about you, Kennedy?
Well, you all gave a great point, but I'm going to stand with my point, which is the influence from media is the reason why teenagers acting very violent and acting involved in criminal activities. This is because influence of social media is everywhere, where students can access to. Student can access at home, at school, like they can open their phone and then just look at what social media will tell us. Well, most of in social media, influence of social media are not very bad, but if the one that the teenagers see is give a very bad influence, they might as well go for it. And yeah, I think that influence from social media is the better reason of why teenagers acting involved in criminal activities. Well, how about you, Kennedy? What do you think?
I kind of disagree with your statement because have you seen that if someone posts about inappropriate things or violence in Instagram or YouTube, they will immediately take it down. So they're not directly getting the influence from social media, but if my point restricted, but the term freedom, they will pick another way to still look for it. Okay. Do you agree with my points, candidate P? Since your point is contradicting with mine.
I'll change my opinion. I'm agree with candidate A and candidate C that says teenagers are given too much freedom because in the phase that teenagers grow up, it is the age that they want to do anything, they want to try anything. So if their parents give too much freedom, they will do the things that they want. And if that candidate D said social media, their parents can be full with them. Parents can control what they do in their social media. So I think teenagers are given too much freedom is the best choices.
Yes, I agree with that.
So I want to hear opinion from candidate C. What do you think?
Mike.
Mike,
Candidate C,
open mic.
please unmute your
Mike, unmute.
I'm sorry.
Alright.
Okay. So I think so basically just like I said before this, the teenagers are given too much freedom. Yes, it is the main cause, but I think that peer pressure can also influence and also can be the main cause of why teenagers involved in crimes. I'm not saying that giving too much freedom is wrong. I'm still stick with that, but I feel like there's an evidence that peer pressure can be another reason that can cause teenagers involved in crimes. So basically, they need if they have like a bad kind of group friends, so they literally will lead to do with any crimes like drinking alcohol, like what I said before this, and also stealing or maybe even worse, drug because of the friends of group. So yeah, just like what I said before this, yes, that teenagers given too much freedom is bad, but also peer pressure is also bad. So what about you, candidate T?
Well, I'm changing my opinion to peer pressure is the influence that why teenagers involved in criminal activities. Well, sometimes parents are very strict, like very strict, and then like the peer pressure came along. Like this friend like told them like, no, you cannot listen to your parents because they are not the same age as you. They have different mindset. So like naturally people are usually follow peer pressure more than parents freedom, and because of that, also that I can conclude that from our discussion that peer most of some of us agree with peer pressure, the influence, and some of us agree with what
Given too
Too
much.
much freedom.
given too much freedom, the reason why student acting violence and involved in criminal activities. Thank you very much.